So welcome to another episode of Agent versus Lender, and today we have Dave Herbon with us. Did I say that right?
Uh-huh.
Okay, cool. Which company are you with? You're with your own agency, aren't you?
Herbon Real Estate.
Herbon Real Estate, and you need to listen to this guy because he's like the real deal. He's closing 60 or so transactions per month, and that's phenomenal, especially in today's market where there's so little inventory. Closing that many, that's just phenomenal. So he's gonna have some good insight. We're gonna talk about a couple things that's gonna help you out. So
Hopefully I have some good insight.
yes, you will, because we talked a little bit before this before the podcast. We talked a little bit, so he's got some great stuff for us today. So Dave, where does we talked about you're doing that many transactions. Where does your business come from?
100% referrals. It's all of it's referral. It's best. Your best clients are going to come from people who have referred you to their friends and family, and so I reach out to all my past clients every month, and I'm consistent with it just every single month. Just keep following up with them.
How do you? I know that, and one of the things you said before you say how you do that is one of the things you said is you're consistent. So tell me about consistency.
It's every day the same thing over and over and over and over and over again. You don't stray from it. It's like we were talking about. It's like working out. You know it's going to happen that day. You know it's something you got to do. You got to maintain your health. So you know you're going to work out that day. Just take the same approach with your business as well, and you do the same thing every single day. You know when you go into your office, this is the first thing you're going to do. Everything else can wait until you get that done.
So what is, I know we talked about that, so what is one of those first things that you do on a daily basis?
And like I was telling you, it's silly. It's everybody thinks it's more elaborate than what it should be. And I've talked to other agents to see what they do, and they have all sorts of gimmicks, but mine is just simple. I created a simple flyer. It's got my listings that I have on there. It says the address on there, has the purchase price on there, has my phone number and my picture at the bottom, and it's that simple. Every morning I go in and I do 30 flyers, stuff them in 30 envelopes, put 30 stamps on, and mail them off, and it's that simple. So I put 2 flyers in there. One is this is what I have listed right now. The other one is, it's a hot market right now. So if you're thinking about selling your house right now, give me a call. It's that simple, and it's not pushier than that. And every single day, 30 flyers go out.
You know what I love about this? It's the simplicity. It's just like, that is just amazing. Everybody, not everybody, but so many people will try and complicate their marketing and complicate the process. And dude, man, you have this simple thing that you send out. It's your listings with a little call to action, and you send that out. But what is probably makes the difference for you is the consistency. And every day you send out 30. So at the end of the week, you sent out, and I'm assuming you do it 5 days a week. So you send out 150, so 3. So at the end of the month, you're sending out 600 flyers. That's about what your past database is, or people that you want to work with, because I know there's sometimes.
I have over 1,000 past clients in my database, and so they all get hit throughout the month. So I make sure that I print out my entire database on what are they called, the little labels, and my top producer program does that for me. I just upload all the names, load up all the little labels in the printer, and print them all off, and I make sure that by the end of the month, that entire folder is empty. And as long as that folder is empty, I know my phone's going to ring and no business is going to be there. And then it's just, in this type of market, it's just trying to find enough houses to sell them and fighting every single day just to get a win.
Sure, but I think it's really what I love about, you know, I think we all have that problem right now, is trying to find the inventory to sell.
Mm-hmm.
But so many people have such a problem trying to find somebody that wants to sell, or trying to find, you know, they're always looking for leads, and it's like, that's not your problem. Your problem is not leads.
It used to be. When I first started, I didn't have a database at all, and so
What did you do? So if you didn't have a database, what did you do?
my dad was in the business forever, and he explained it simple. He says, you just have to do everything that nobody wants to do. And it was that simple. And so the same thing, I'm good with people, I'm good in front of people. So again, I created and back then it was, when I really started doing this is when HUD homes were out there. And
Yeah,
so
I
there
remember
was, and you know, back then there was no business at all. So I created a simple flyer again, and I would find one HUD house that I liked. I would create 30 flyers. I'd put a hole punch in it, staple my card to it, and then put a rubber band on it. Mm-hmm. And I'd go and knock on doors, and if somebody answered, I'd say, you know, I'd introduce myself and I'd say, hey, did you know about the HUD house that's right down the street here? It's for sale for this much. So if you have any friends or family, have them give me a call, and it'd be that simple. And if they wanted to talk, I'd say great. I'd keep talking to them. If they didn't, you know, I'd leave it at that. And I had people that were pissed off, get off my porch, this and that.
Yeah.
You woke me up, and they, you know, and they crumble it up and throw it at you, and you just, okay, you know, appreciate it. And then you just go to the next house. But what I would do is, I would write down their address. Every single house that I hit, I would write down the address. If they were home, I'd put a star by it. If they were friendly, I'd put 2 stars by it. If they weren't home, I would leave it blank. So after I went and knocked an entire neighborhood, and I'd take anywhere between 30 and 50 flyers, so I knew I was going to hit somewhere between 30 and 50 doors that day. If they were home and they were polite and I put 2 stars on it, I would send them a thank you card. Hey, thank you for taking the time out of your day, for talking to me about the HUD house in your neighborhood. If you're ever interested in buying or selling, just give me a call. And then I would put their name in my database. If they weren't home, I'd still put their name in my database, and then I would just kind of put them on like every couple of months. I would send them something. The ones with 2 stars, I would hit them every month. And then, and so I did that every year, whether it was snowing, raining, 200 degrees, and it's humiliating. I mean, it's absolutely humiliating, especially when you're out there and you're in your 40s, and the 16-year-old kid that's selling security or
Yeah, right.
or Comcast packages or this and that.
Yeah.
You know, you see him out there and you're just like, "Yeah, what are you selling?" And I'm like, yeah, I'm in real estate and just going around talking to people. And they're like, oh man, I don't want to be doing this at 40. I'm like, nobody does. And so you just kind of swallow a little bit of pride. You just accept the humility of it, and then you just wake up again and you do it again the next day.
You know, that's a real testament to you and for your tenacity, because most people wouldn't do what you did. Mm-hmm. But because you did what nobody else wanted to do, you're in a position today that you don't have to do that kind of stuff. Now you have a good referral base. You have a good past client database, mm-hmm. and you're killing it.
I'm working on it.
You're not, dude, man. It's just like that's what I like about you, is just the humble attitude. It's just like, you know, you're saying I'm working on it, and people would be dying to get to the level you're at.
Yeah, this business you have to stay as humble as possible. I see the new guys come in, and they didn't go through, you know, all the 08s and that, so they get in a hot market, and and they think that's just what it is, and then their attitudes reflect it as well. And you know, you probably deal with them too, and they call you up with all this attitude. If your client doesn't do this, blah blah, and they're all super aggressive with you, and you have to kind of bring them down a little bit. And, you know, you're like, you know, this isn't our house that we're selling. These aren't our decisions. Talk to your buyer, talk to your seller, see if this is something that they want to do. It doesn't have to be an aggressive. It's not an aggressive business. It's just a communication business.
It's a communication. It's a service business. So yeah, people that are that learn that early on do so much better.
The best piece of advice I ever got, because I had some clients that I'd been working with them, and this sounds really horrible, and a lot of people would say you're crazy to do this. I don't force people into contracts. So even when I'm representing you, the second I'm meeting you, I'm not saying, here, you need to sign this buyer's agent agreement or else I can't work with you. I don't take that approach with people. And I tell them as I'm signing that contract, look, if you don't like my business, and if we're not under contract on a house, and you don't think I'm representing you good, call me up. I'll cancel the contract instantly. I'm not going to force you to work with me. I want your experience to be good. I don't want it to be a horrible experience. So if I'm not representing you good, I want to know I need to change. And so I tell everybody that, from my listings to my buyers as well. I approach them and I say, list your house with me, and if you don't think I'm representing you good and we're not under contract, call me up. You can cancel instantly.
Yeah, that's a really important thing. It just seems like that I've talked to several really good producers lately, and they're all in that mindset. It's like I don't want to force people into working with me, because in this day and age with social media, just like they're gonna, if you force them into a contract,
they'll blow you up.
Oh my gosh, they're totally gonna blow you up.
Yeah.
It's just like, just let them out and just let them, let them move on and move on to the next one. Don't force yourself into a deal that is just going to be bad for everybody. Just let them go and move on to the next deal.
Yeah, and I kind of struggle with it. I mean, I give people that option, but I kind of assume that people would just kind of stay and work with me. But I had a couple of people that I took out and showed them a bunch, and then they went out to an open house, or they one of their buddies instantly got a license, and they just called me up and said, hey, we want to cancel. And this is after I'd spent months with them. And I kind of struggled with it at first, but my dad probably gave me the best advice ever, and he's just like, next. He's just like, there's no loyalty in it, you can't take it personal, you just have to say next and move on to the next one.
Yeah.
And then you just make sure that you treat everybody really well, and just try to make sure everybody has a good experience throughout the whole thing.
Yeah, that's one of the best advice that I think anybody could have.
Because you'll get them too. I mean, you'll get those listings that they're 100%. They're selling their house and this and that, and then just something changes, and they just call you up and say, yeah, no, we've decided to just take our house off the market. We're not going to sell anymore. And you can't take those things personal, so you just go pull a sign, and all right, give me a call whenever you guys are ready.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah, next.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I think that's really good advice for anybody listening to this. And I know that you're going to have some pushback, and I know that we, as we are discussing that, we'll have some pushback from people, because they're saying it. I am not going to sign, or not going to show without an agency agreement. And I know that's industry wide. It doesn't matter what state you're in. There's most people probably have that, but it just seems like the ones that I've talked to, they take that same approach.
Yeah.
I want the experience to be happy. I want it to be a good one. I don't want it to be miserable, because if you force somebody into any contract, they're gonna thrash you.
Yeah.
Especially on social media, they're gonna thrash you beyond words. It's
Totally.
brutal.
So, since we're talking about social media, and I know that most of your, so you had some great advice about where your business comes from. It's from referrals, and you're keeping in touch with them.
Mm-hmm.
And I know you sent out something else that you said was kind of, you thought was kind of stupid.
Yeah.
So tell me
it's-
about what that other thing that you sent out too.
Yeah.
So
it's-
tell me
it's-
about what that other thing that you sent out too.
It's ridiculous, and I didn't think it was that important. But it's a 4x6 magnet calendar that goes out Christmas time, and I didn't think it was doing anything. I thought it was just silly, and
You thought it was a waste of money.
I just thought it was a waste of time because I was ordering all the calendars, and then I was personally putting all the cards on them and stuffing all the envelopes and putting all the labels on them and sending them out. So I thought, gosh, it's just a huge waste of time. But then one Christmas I kind of slacked on it, and January 1st hit, and people were calling me, hey, where's my card? Or where's my calendar?
And it wasn't like one or two, it was like a lot.
It was a lot of them. I was getting lots of calls, and I'll even still sell houses to people, and they're like, hey, since we're moving, are you still gonna send us our calendar? I'm like, yeah, oh yeah. And the reason why it's so important, it's magnetic. They put it on their fridge. Everybody loves a magnet. It doesn't matter whose house you go into, from it could be the richest person in the world down to the average working guy or whatever. They've got magnets on their fridge. Their kids are gonna make pictures. They're gonna stick them on the fridge. They need a magnet on there, and so. And it keeps you right in front of them. They're seeing you every single day opening that fridge.
You know, this is really good advice for me as well, because I sent out, it was years ago that I had some magnets, and I sent them out to all my past clients, and I sent them out to realtors.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't continue to do that, but I would walk into some past clients' homes years later, or into a real estate office that I had sent them to, and that magnet,
It's still there.
it's stuck on their their file cabinet, or it's stuck on their fridge, and it didn't dawn on me. It's just like, dude, keep doing that. And I didn't do that. So good for you for continuing to do that.
I have a couple agents in my office, and I just tell them everybody loves a magnet.
Yeah.
No, there's not a person in the world that doesn't love a magnet. The kids will play with it all day.
Yeah.
They'll take it off the fridge and put stuff on the fridge, and so yeah, everybody loves a magnet.
That's awesome.
That's my number one probably piece of advertisement that I send out every year.
And you don't do much with social media. So we talked a little bit about blowing up on social media. You don't really do a lot. You don't like paid ads, or you don't do any of that kind of stuff.
No, I tried that. I took a class, and it was, they were really pushing it a lot, and but I'm friends with a couple of agents that they're constantly doing something, but nobody. It's kind of annoying when someone is just hitting you all the time for business. It's just constantly business. I don't really care. I know that you're doing this business, but what else is going on with your life?
Sure.
So
And
I
I think-
kind of mix mine up a little bit.
Yeah, and that's a good point. I think most people that really do well with it, it's not just business, because if you just do that, pretty soon people aren't just
They turn off.
Yeah, they're just going to ignore your feed.
And I'll see it if I closed, let's say anywhere between 4 and 7 deals that month or whatever, and if they all close around the same time, I usually if I get a listing or if I close, I post a picture of the house and put sold on it and say congratulations to this family, and I'll put something that I knew that was kind of meant a lot to them, because as we're showing houses or looking at houses, or as we're getting their house sold, I'll kind of try and probe them a lot about what's kind of going on in their lives. And so if I know that they're going to be moving states, or if they're going to, like I had one girl in Salt Lake that sold her house, and she sold her house just to make money, and she was planning on buying a van, and she was just going to tour the country. So on hers I put congratulations on selling your house, and and I hope your future van endeavors take you to some amazing places. So I put something kind of heartfelt that I know about them,
Yeah.
and then post about their house and whatnot. So it's not just
It's
all
not
about
just
me.
a sold.
Yeah, it's not about me.
Yeah.
It's about their house. It's these things are important to them. This is I like when I sit down with everybody and I'm explaining the house that they're going to buy. I'm like, this is your sanctuary. This is where you're coming home at nighttime. This is where you're relaxing for the day. And so the house, it's heartfelt. It's heartbreaking when you sell a house. The only time it's not heartbreaking is if it was just a horrible relationship with people or something like that. But every house that gets sold, it's emotional. You'll watch people absolutely be heartbroken when they sell their house. So if you mention them and you give them something heartfelt, they kind of remember that as well. And so my social media is just kind of a little bit of that. I kind of show what's going on in my life too, and
Yep.
it makes it more personal. And then I create just goofy little videos with me and my kids and whatnot. I got
But
one
that's
where-
what people want to know. It's just like, dude, it's like, okay, you're a realtor, okay, you sold a house, but they want to know about you. They want to know about your kids. They want to know about, so if people don't know this about you, like you do these half Ironmans. So this dude's in shape. So just so you know, man. He's like, yeah,
I work on it.
yeah, you do.
Yeah. So they want to see all that stuff. They want to know what you're into, and it'll kind of shock you a little bit too, because you won't run, you'll run into somebody that and they're like, oh hey, how'd your race go? And you're just like, you kind of takes you back a little bit. You're just like, how'd you know I was doing a race? And then you give you a real, it's on social media. Like this year I got this hill in my backyard that I've been battling for years, and I was just kind of tired of it. I couldn't get anything growing. It's all clay. So this year I took out everything that was there, created these garden boxes, put a little slide on it and whatnot, and filmed the whole thing. And I took 3 or 4 days worth of filming and condensed it down, like put it high speed and or time lapse or whatever, and condensed it down to like I think maybe 2 minutes. Right down to where I broke my shovel and then put the end result on it, and people loved it. And,
That is cool.
So all that kind of goofy stuff.
That's awesome. That's the kind of stuff people like to see. So that's awesome. But going back to that, we talked about social media a little bit and about some things to do and don't do. But it's like you like kill it with the past database stuff. It's just like that's where you make your money.
That's it.
I have a business coach, and he's told me that the number one thing you can do, it's not even close. The number one thing you can do is to make sure you keep in touch with your past database. And so congratulations.
Yeah, they worked with you. They know who you are. They had good experience with you, and they're going to say, hey, yeah, I got this friend. And anytime you get a referral, you ask them, well, who referred you to me? And they're like, oh, my friend here over here. So then I'll send that person, the person that referred this new client to me, I'll send them like a $50 gift card to go eat dinner, and thank you for referring this person to me. Enjoy a nice night out with, and I put both of their names on there. I put like the husband and the wife, and if I remember the kid's name, sometimes. So I put, thanks, whoever, and for referring this person to me. Even, and that's even before, and that's just getting the referral. It's not even selling them a house or anything. It's, you were referred to me. I'm sending this client something because, I appreciate you sending these people to me. That means that I did a good job for you, and you're sending actually a family member or friend to me. So it's massive. It's like the biggest compliment that you can get. And I put that on my card too. It's a massive compliment that you would refer your clients to me or your friends and family to me.
Yeah, one of my business coaches is a guy named Carl White out of Florida, and he told me that when he was asking me about if I was keeping in touch with my past database, and I told him no. And he says, Ron, people that don't keep in touch their past Ron, people that don't keep in touch with their past database just doesn't like money. And he's right. And you are like the man, because you are doing, you know, a massive amount of transactions a year, and it's almost all you said, like I think you said before this, 98% of it is all just referral based.
Yeah. It's very rarely that I represent someone that isn't a referral from another client. And usually, if like I had some clients that they're not my clients. I was showing a house to my clients in Salt Lake, and the neighbors came over, and I got their information and was trying to help them out, but you could tell it was just it wasn't responsive, and so I didn't keep hammering on them. I was just like, well, I kind of figured that I'll present your information over to a lender. If they get in touch with you, then and then they're not responding, then I just kind of figure, well, it's just, you know, they weren't serious about buying in the first place. So I don't keep hammering and keep going back after them. People can see if you're genuine, or if you're
Yeah, totally.
yeah, or if you're just trying to like work them for business, you know.
Yeah.
So I don't.
100%.
I kind of call it being kind of weaselly. So I don't like to be weaselly.
Yeah, that's true though.
If you want to work with me, great. If not, you know.
So take us through a typical day of Dave Herbon. Take us through a typical day, because it's just like people are going, God, you don't have an assistant. It's just I'll tell you right now that just blows my mind that you don't have an assistant and you're doing that kind of business. I just honestly, it just blows my mind. So take us through a typical day. What does that look like today? When do you get up? When do what do you do?
So alarm clock goes off sometime around 5 in the morning, and drag myself out of bed. And there's those days where you just don't want to get up, and you're just like, who cares? I'm getting up anyways. So just kind of set up. You get going. I know the night before from looking at my workout plan what I'm going to be doing in the morning. So drag myself out of bed, go downstairs, do my workout, and then usually by the time I'm finishing up my workout, kids are starting to wake up. So they'll both come downstairs.
Well, of course you're working out. You're waking them up.
No, it's just in the basement. It's cement floor, so there's not like lots of racket or anything.
Yeah.
And so my kids usually come downstairs, and I got 5-year-old twins, and they come downstairs and they kind of hang out, and they're starting to kind of see me working out, so they kind of like start picking up weights and start doing little things like that. So I'm like, it's working.
That's awesome.
It's working, you know. And so
So
they
5-year-old
see me.
twins, that's a workout in itself.
Yeah, it's a ton of work with
Yeah.
5-year-old twins, and so I'll do that, and then I go upstairs, make my shake, which is basically oatmeal, fruit, and protein shake, and that's breakfast. And get ready for work, and then head into the office and do my 30 flyers, and then look at my board. See who I need to send listings to, and just start, hey, do you guys want to go see these houses? Do you want to go see these houses? And I'll try and hit every single one of them. Usually by about 11, I'll have gone through everybody and send them all out. And then it's just following up on all my deals, looking who I'm showing that day, setting up appointments for those, and then just doing all the follow-up on all my deals. And it's literally all day texting and calling and getting things set up. Yeah, today I got, I'm showing one client at 1:30, and then I got another client I'm showing at 4:30, and another client I'm showing at 6:30 or 7, and then between that, just negotiating all the deals that I get going on. Tomorrow's the same thing, showing, and then home inspections, and then more showings, and follow up every single day, same thing. Just get in a routine of just, this is what you're gonna do. And people look at it daunting. It's like, Like, it's like we were talking about earlier too. It's like taking control of your diet, or taking control of your health, or taking control of anything. It's just, you just accept it, that this is what you're going to do. It's not like it's going to benefit anyone else. It's just benefiting you. So it's when in the early '90s, I was the health coach for the hockey team up at Weber State.
Oh, cool.
And the conditioning coach too, and you would watch some of the guys just kind of try and dog the workout, and you would see the ones that were really committed, and the ones that were really committed were trying to pull the other ones up, like, come on, let's get going. So finally I sat down with the entire team, and I told them, look, when you're out here doing these sprints and you're out here doing this, if you're not taking it serious and you're not committed to it, I said, the only person you're really cheating is yourself. It's not that you're not affecting anyone else, you're not hurting anyone else. The guys that are taking it serious, they're here 100%. So if you're not going to take it serious, there's a younger kid that's coming up, and he's going to take your position. And if you don't take it serious and you don't go 100%, that guy will take your position.
Yep.
And I would point him out every single year. You'd see the rookies come in, and I'm like, these are the ones that are looking to take your spot. So if you're not going to go 100%, these ones are going to run you over. And I take that same approach with real estate. If I'm not going 100% every day, someone else will fill in.
Yep.
If there's no loyalty in it, you just have to accept what you're going to do. This is what I'm doing. I'm sending these out, and just take it serious.
Man, that was an amazing piece of advice right there. There's a couple things. One is, you're not reacting every single day. You have a plan for what you're going to do, and you follow that plan consistently.
And your day's going to blow up a little bit.
Sure.
It's inevitable. You've got the deal that you got under contract, and then you go and do the home inspection, and you find out the entire house is rotten or something.
Yeah.
So those things are going to happen. You plan for those things, but the base is there. You stick with that base, and you follow that base, and you just don't cheat yourself. You just
I love that.
you go as and just be honest with everybody. If you screwed up, just I wasn't paying attention to this. Just this is how we're gonna resolve this.
Yeah.
You don't try to lie to your clients. They see through it.
Oh, yeah, just like you said, you're lying to your clients, but you're lying to yourself, and that's almost worse.
Yeah.
So, dude, man, this has been fun. This has really been.
Ramble too much.
No,
I
man,
get on a ramble.
this has really been eye-opening. This has been a great experience. It's just like, dude, man, I just learned a lot from you.
Sorry if I get to rambling too much. I have a tendency to I spend most of my day in my office just doing my own thing, because I don't have anybody else there, so it's quiet and I can get all my stuff done. So most of my day is spent with myself, and when my dad comes in, he's my broker, and we can bounce ideas a lot off each other.
Cool.
So it's kind of a good person to have there.
That's awesome. So, Dave, appreciate you being here. Appreciate that.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, this has been really great. What's the best way for people to get hold of you?
Just give me a call. Can I give my phone number?
Phone numbers, email, website.
Phone number is 801-940-6857, or you can go to my website, herbonrealestate.com. Look me up.
Spell that for him. Herbon.
HERB as in boy, ON, and realestate.com, or you can look me up on social media as just David Herbon. And then we have our real estate Facebook page as well, which is Herbon. I think it's just Herbon Real Estate there. I have another one that's D Herbon Homes. Email is dherbonhomes@gmail.com. Look for my little videos on my my Facebook page. They're ridiculous. Like the one is my kid riding his bike when he was like 3, and I put music to it. It's funny. It's his foot slips, and it's good. So
Yeah,
Just
you,
goofy little stuff.
you know, it's really funny as you say it's ridiculous, but you said that about some of your other marketing, and it's just like you're freaking killing it with that. So
Just
you got to have fun with it. You
Yeah,
know?
totally,
It's,
totally.
You don't take it too serious and just have fun with it. And
Yeah.
you'll do great. You know.
All right.
It's, awesome.
I appreciate that, Dave. As always, if you need to get hold of me or my team, you can reach us at 801-628-7667. You can go to thepippenteam.com or helpmewithamortgage.com, either one of those. You can find me on social media, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and get hold of us. And if there's anything that Dave or I can do to help you guys out, we're here to help you.
awesome.
So
Love
thanks for being with us on Agent versus Lender.